today proved that the Liberals really have to get their act together. They've got to get brave. Because, warning, the Greens in Canberra have made another deal with Labor. You always have to worry when that happens. You look 15 or 13 years ago when we got this deal, it looked like a marriage, really. Nice flowers in the lapel between Labor Prime Minister Julia Gillard and Greens leader Bob Brown. How could you forget? Because that gave Australians a Greens-Labor partnership and eventually the carbon tax that Gillard had promised would never get. And what does today's deal give us? Well, more global warming craziness, I'm afraid. If you believe Greens leader Adam Bandt today, almost no more gas and coal projects in Australia. That's what the deal achieves, when we're already running short of gas and electricity. Now, the government has agreed to allow no further increase at all of emissions from our biggest companies, including gas companies.
There will now be, in legislation, a hard cap on actual emissions that the safeguard sector can emit. This means a huge number of those 116 coal and gas projects in the pipeline will not be able to go ahead.
Is that true? Well, actually, Chris Bowen, the Energy and Climate Minister today, wasn't saying whether projects like the giant Beetaloo gas project in the Northern Territory will now have to be scrapped.
Others can, reach conclusions about the implications.
Now, I don't know if the Greens are just lying. We forced the government to cave in. We made a difference. In fact, maybe the government stared them down. But I have to say that it does seem that Bandt didn't get that much in exchange for the Greens back in the Albanese government's plan to squeeze our biggest companies, force them year after year to cut their emissions even more. And who knows what cost? Passed down to you. Bowen actually said, well, to be honest, the deal just means I have to have another look when companies seem in danger of admitting more than this cap that the Greens have insisted on. And then I'll just, maybe I'll just pass a new law to change the cap if I have to. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to do that easily, to be honest. But one thing already is clear. Investors in coal and gas and oil have one more reason to think that the cost and risk of doing business in Australia, which includes trying to find new deposits of gas and exploit them, well, it's just not worth it. I mean, you just saw today, after this announcement, shares in gas companies fell. Now, they're going to invest somewhere else. There's other places in Australia, and we are going to get poorer and poorer, with our gas and our oil and our coal just left in the ground. And your electricity will keep rising and China will keep getting richer comparatively, because while the Greens and Labor are killing our coal and gas industries, China is going the other way. It's using more and more to get rich. And in fact, global warming is now China's secret weapon to dominate the West. And we're just mugs for going along with it. So the Liberals really have got to get on top of their issues, and on this issue in particular, by the way, they've got to get brave about global warming, and they've got to dare to challenge the global warming scare while our lights are still on. Because I'll say it again, the cost of global warming policies is much higher than the price of any warming. The real threat is not cyclones or whatever, it's what the Greens and Labor are doing to you. And the Liberals need to help stop them. Because if they don't stop them, who will?